Hi guys, welcome again to Learning TWI the Fun Way with TWI Junior Pro. My name is Kwesi, and for today's lesson we have two people that needed something translated. And the first person that wanted me to translate something was Afare. Afare, thanks again for your continued support. And the first thing that Afare wanted to know was how to say 6 months ago in TWI. And that can be said as Bosome nsia atwamu. Again, Bosome nsia atwamu. Let me just slow down and break it down, right? It's Bosome nsia atwamu. So Bosome literally is a month. Nsia is the number 6. So Bosome nsia is 6 months. Bosome nsia would be 6 months that atwamu in TWI is has passed. So Bosome nsia is 6 months. Is that atwamu has passed. So the literal translation will be 6 months that has passed, which would be 6 months ago. So again, 6 months ago in TWI is Bosome nsia atwamu. And the second thing that Afare wanted to know was 2 weeks ago. Now 2 weeks ago in TWI can be said as Nnawɔtwe atwamu. Again, Nnawɔtwe atwamu. So Nnawɔtwe is a week in TWI. Mmienu is 2, the number 2. So Nnawɔtwe is 2 weeks. Again is that. Atwamu is has passed. So the literal translation would be 2 weeks that has passed. But that can also mean 2 weeks ago. So again, 2 weeks ago in TWI can be said as Nnawɔtwe atwamu. And the third thing that Afare wanted to know was how to say 5 days ago. Now 5 days ago can be said as Nnanum atwamu. Again, Nnanum atwamu. Right? Now let's break this down. Na is days. Da is a day. So na is a plural form of da. So na is days. Num is the number 5. So na num is 5 days. Is that. Atwamu is, again, has passed. So the literal translation would be 5 days that has passed, which in turn is 5 days ago. So again, 5 days ago in TWI can be said as Nnanum atwamu. Again, Nnanum atwamu. And the last thing that Afare wanted to know was 10 years ago, and that in TWI can be said as Nfie atwamu. Nfie is years. Afe is a year. Nfie is years. So Nfie du is 10, the number 10. So Nfie du is 10 years. Remember, is that. Atwamu is has passed. So the literal translation will be 10 years that has passed, which in turn again will be 10 years ago. So again, 10 years ago in TWI is Nfie du atwamu. Afare, thanks again for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And the second person that needed something translated was Mujib. I hope I'm saying your name right. And again, Mujib, thanks for joining the family. And these are the things that Mujib wanted to know. The first thing that Mujib wanted to know is how to say shut the door. And that in TWI can be said in 2 ways. And the first way one can say it is ka Epono no bom. Again, ka Epono no bom. Ka is basically saying drive or push. Epono is a door. No is that specific door. Bom is basically putting something together. If I say kandienu bom, I'm saying put that thing together. So in this case, that's another way of saying shut the door. And the other way one can say it is ka Epono no tum. Again, ka Epono no tum. Tum is basically close as well, right? So the 2 ways of saying shut the door is ka Epono no bom. Again, ka Epono no bom. Or ka Epono no tum. Again, ka Epono no tum. And the second thing that Mujib wanted to know was open the door. Now, open the door can also be said in two ways. And the first way one can say that is bie Epono no. Bie Epono no. Bie is basically open. Epono is door. No is that specific door. So again, bie Epono no. Or one can say Hini. Hini is also open in Twi. Hini Epono no. Epono is door. No is that specific door. So the two ways one can say open the door in Twi is bie Epono no. Again, bie Epono no. Or Hini Epono no. Again, Hini Epono no. And the third thing that Mujib wanted to know was the difference between Daben and mrebeng. Now, the first difference that one will notice between the two is Daben represents day and mrebeng represents time. So one is day and one is time. So now let's dive into the main differences, right? Let's start with Daben. So Daben in English could be when, which day, or what day, right? And I want to put it in a sentence so it's more clearer to you, right? So for an example, if somebody says Daben wobeba, again, Daben na wobeba. Now in English should be when are you going to come? Or when are you coming, right? Now let's break it down. Daben is when, or what day, or which day. Na, in this case, will be right? So Daben na would be when or what day or which day na wobeba. Are you going to come, right? So again, Daben na wobeba in English will be when or what day or which day are you going to come or are you coming? I hope that makes sense. Now let's dive into the second one, which is mrebeng. Now mre has to do with time, right? Now remember, when in English doesn't really matter if it's day or time. For an example, I would say, when are you coming? Again, could be time related or could be day related, doesn't matter. So mrebeng can also mean when, right? But in this case, it could also mean what time or which time. Instead of day, it's now time. So now, assuming we use a sentence like mrebeng na yebedidi. Again, mrebeng na yebedidi. In English will be when are we going to eat, or which time are we going to eat, or what time are we going to eat. I hope it makes sense. So let's start again. Let me just break it down. Mrebeng is when, or what time, or which time. Na is ye is we. Bedidi, going to eat. So again, if I say mrebeng na ye bedidi, in English could be when, or what time, or which time are we going to eat. I hope, Mujib, that actually made sense. I try to explain it as best that I can, and I hope it was helpful. And the fifth thing that Mujib wanted to know was how to say, is he your dad? And that in Twi can be said as, oye wo papa, or ye wo papa. So or in this sense means a person, represents a person. So ye is that person. Wo papa is your father or your dad. So or ye wo papa. And the last thing that Mujib wanted to know was how to say the food has spoiled. And that in Twi can be said as Aduane no ase. Again, Aduane no ase. So Aduane is food. No is that specific food. Ase is has spoiled. So again, Aduane no ase. Let me say it one last time. Aduane no ase. Mujib, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you actually got the difference between Daben and mrebeng. Guys, that's it for this week's lesson. I hope you guys actually enjoyed it and it was fruitful. And guys, one sad news. It was sad to hear the passing of Mr. John Rawlings, also known as J.J. Rawlings. He was one of Ghana's former presidents. May his soul rest in peace. And guys, please continue spreading the word. Let anyone who wants to learn TWI or wants to know what TWI is about, please come to this channel. And if they go through the content and they're happy with what I'm actually pushing out there, they might actually subscribe to the channel or join the family. With that, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please click on the like button. Please click on the subscribe button and please click on the bell button for future notifications. And guys, if you want to learn TWI quicker, right, please go to Google Store. Please download TWI Junior Pro. With the app and these lessons, you learn TWI quicker. And as I usually say, guys, just want to thank all my old subscribers and my new subscribers. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So guys, please do take care of yourself. With that, lots of love from Kwesi. See you next week. Bye.